Hello there everybody, a very good morning to you all and welcome back to howtotrade.com. Welcome back to another live stream here in our trading room and of course across our social media channels. This morning here in the UK it's 10 o'clock in the morning. We are live on X, we are live on LinkedIn, we are live on Facebook, and we are live on YouTube and of course in our trading room as well. It's good to see you all and thank you very much for tuning in on this Wednesday morning. To be honest, for me, it's been a little bit of a slow week. There's not been huge economic drivers. We obviously had that oil news that Israel said they weren't going to attack Iran oil facilities, which sort of sunk oil prices. So took a stop loss there on my oil buy, which was annoying. But other than that, I haven't really got anything to update from my usual analysis that I done on the Monday. There is that's a lie. There is one thing that we need to take a look at today on the original analysis on the Monday, and other than that, we're going to be looking to try and scalp the gold market and also the stock market as well. See if we can find any lower time frame trades. There's really two things that you do in times where your limits are far away or you're not in a position to trade for whatever reason on your normal time frame, because the markets are slow or it's just not really, the picture isn't clear for you, whatever it might be, it doesn't really matter. There's two things that you can do. The one of them, you can walk away and you can come back in a few days, or just come back the next day and just give it a quick check over. No, okay, still nothing, and come and just keep doing that. That's what I would do personally. But obviously my job doesn't allow me to do that because I stream content and I also provide support and analysis and articles and trade ideas to you guys. And the other thing you can do is move down the time frames. I know people like to do that. It's not my favorite thing to do personally, but concepts do work on the lower time frames. They're just a bit more volatile in nature, and so you can move down the time frames and try and get opportunities on your 5 minutes or your 15 minutes or your 1 minute if you want. Or I've seen some people do 1 second or whatever you want to do. It's up to you. So we'll try and do that today. We'll try and get some good intraday opportunities on the gold and the stock market. Good to see you all in the trading room as well. If you are around on YouTube or on X or on any of the channels, feel free to pop up and say good morning. And it is good to see you all. Now, just quickly before we move on, I just want to quickly show you that the news we had out today, really, which was basically the consumer price index data in the UK. So if you're based over in the UK like I am, you may already have seen the headlines that inflation fell quite a bit. The rate of inflation fell quite a bit, down to 1.7%. The estimation was for 1.9. Even I thought that estimation was quite low, considering the previous was at 2.2%. Yeah, that's it's quite interesting. So obviously off the back of that, we've seen some pound weakness. There's no real surprise there. We actually have a good fundamental strategy in the trading room called Bulk the Talk, and I imagine that would have been a good one to trade this sort of news. So hopefully someone out there who knows about that strategy managed to cash in. And the core consumer price index, which is like your entrenched inflation, that also fell 0.2% to 3.2, still at elevated levels. But yeah, we now have inflation below the Bank of England's target, which is quite remarkable, really, considering where we've come from. Dillaby, good morning to you. Thank you very much. Did I have a good night rest? No, it still took me till 1 a.m. to get to sleep. Still woke up at 7:30, thinking it was, 2:30. So it was pretty grim. But yeah, I'm getting there. Tonight, I promise I'm going to have an earlier night if I can. It's just tough to sleep when you've got that jet lag. Okay, so off the back of that news we've had, you'll notice that we've had some pound weakness. We're down 0.5% against the dollar, 0.2 against the New Zealand dollar, and you can see really across the board a lot of pound weakness in play there. Now then, interestingly, we are now at that low, which I said is really, really important, at that 1.3 area. Basically this swing low here. As you can see, I've said, and I've had this marked for a couple of days now, we need to wait for a break of that structure, or we need to wait for a liquidity sweep. A liquidity sweep looks like like it is right now. If it closed right now, we could class that potentially as the liquidity sweep where we've got that wick below. And then what we should then see is probably a move back up higher. What I would like to see is a break below this low. Then we get a retracement up into somewhere like the somewhere like this, the 50% of that imbalance, or FVG, whatever you want to call it. Just call it FVG these days. Okay, which would also look, as you probably are screaming at me across the screens, it also looks like a really nice head and shoulders pattern as well. So we'd have a new break of structure, we'd have the 50% of the fair value gap, we'd have a really textbook bearish head and shoulders pattern, and we may even have, depending on where this market decides to bottom, we may even also have a nice Fibonacci retracement into one of my key areas, the 61.8, the 0.5, or the 38.2. Trading is all about patience, I'm building the case for my downside for cable, so hopefully that can continue. That case can continue to build over the next coming days and weeks. That's the way that I trade anyway. So hopefully we get that move. I've just realised I'm live, and I've actually not put it in the trading room. My bad. 2 seconds, guys. That's funny. I can't remember. I don't think I've ever done that before. Hello, everybody. I do apologise to those in the trading room. I've just gone live in the trading room. I have been live for the past 5 minutes, and I completely forgot to actually put that live in the trading room. So I do apologise. Jeanette, you just messaged me and you just reminded me. It just completely slipped that I don't only go live on all four. Obviously, I put that in the trading room as well. So you may have to, at the end of the stream, those in the trading room, just rewind it. Just rewind it. Go back to, because you can watch the past streams. Just watch that first 5 minutes. All I was talking about was cable, and how we are basically at my level where I said we need to wait for a liquidity sweep or a break of this low, and then coming back up into this 50% of this FVG. And this is really all off the back of that weaker inflation print in the UK, which came out this morning, considerably weaker figures. So I do apologise that for some reason I just didn't go live in the room. There's just never done that before. Must be the jet lag. So I do apologise for that. Good to see you all anyway. Jeanette's good to see, and Curtin, hello to you as well. Jeanette, thanks for reminding me there. Cheers. Okay, if you are looking to trade gold stocks, any markets you like, feel free to open a Switch Markets account or check Switch Markets out. It's our brokerage, so you will have obviously the support from us and the team over at Switch Markets. So we're all linked together, and they are doing a fantastic offer still, where if you deposit up to 5,000, they will match your deposit. So if you deposited 4,000 of your or $4,000, then they'll match that with another $4,000. So feel free to check that out as well. Okay, so to repeat myself, it is a little bit of a slower trading day. So what we're going to try and do is just move down the time frames a little bit and try and catch on to some lower time frame opportunities. And my focus is going to be on gold, and my focus is going to be on the 3 stock indexes as well. It's annoying that I have to go back to gold after it swerved my entry. My entry was at 2601.5. There was my entry. I had a buy limit set there, and look what happened. Horrific. So, you'll probably, you won't be surprised to hear that, I'm bullish on gold. Wow, what a call, what a prediction that is, because we can clearly see that the structure at the moment is bullish. So when we trade on the lower time frames, it's always important to try and follow higher time frame structure. And our higher time frame structure is bullish right now, of course, because of the clear higher highs and higher lows that we're seeing at the moment. So let's just keep dropping down those time frames. 1 hour time frame, you could see that we had a period. It was all pretty low volume, and it didn't take long before we got, this is called inducement, where you have a lower time frame structure change within a higher time frame structure. So we had a higher time frame bullish, and the hourly time frame was just turning, but there's always a time where that sort of starts to change, and you can see that liquidity sweep, no more lower lows, boom, break higher in gold. So I'm going to go even lower now on the lower time frames, because I think it's evident that what we should be looking for today, and it wouldn't surprise me one bit, is if we got some sort of move up to 2685. So if we're going to get any scalping opportunities today, 2685 is the obvious target. Where can we get that move from? Well, you can see here, if I turn this indicator on, and this is, this is higher risk trading, but you can see there's a little bit of a demand zone in here that caused this recent break in structure. So I'm happy with that. You could actually argue as well that we've pretty much filled all of the FVG here. There's a little bit down here, but can't see it getting that far, to be honest with you. And you can see previously when we had quite a similar consolidation before the break, we did get close to testing that demand zone. So had a look at this one earlier, and I quite like the idea of potentially looking at this as a scalping opportunity. It's a 4.3 to 1 trade. Yeah, keeping it as simple as that. That's how I would trade it on the higher time frames. So I'm just using those same concepts on the lower time frames. This is a 5-minute time frame. What's important about trading on the lower time frames, if you're not used to doing that, is lower that risk. Lower your risk on the trade. I trade at 2% risk on the 4 hour and the daily. I trade 1% risk on the hourly time frame. I'm going to trade no more than 0.5% on the 5-minute time frame, maybe even 0.25%, because I'm not much of a scalper. It's just how I trade. There's nothing wrong with that. So that's a potential 4 to 1 opportunity. So risking 0.5%, you can make about 2.5% profit should we get A, tagged in, and B, to work towards our profit target. But I will also follow my normal risk management rules, which are basically where when we get towards a 1-to-1 risk reward, I always take half off and look for a more sensible stop loss. And then when we get to 2-to-1, I at a minimum move my stop loss to entry, and that makes me risk free. Okay, that never changes no matter what time frame I trade on. Just going to quickly pause just to see if there's any questions coming through. All good. Everyone's all good. Fantastic. So that's really my scalping opportunity for gold. Let's have a look at and then obviously, sorry, just before I continue, there is potential for, once we get to 2685, are we going to get a bit of a liquidity sweep on that high? Can we sweep that high and maybe catch the counter trend to the downside? Potentially. Again, though, it would be going counter trend and lower time frame, so it'd be minimal risk there. Okay. The NASDAQ. Bit of a sell-off last night. Nothing really that I'm too fussed about. I actually took a little bit of a loss on the trend rider strategy on the NASDAQ. 2 losses this week. Frustrating. It's just been that sort of week for me, but it's absolutely fine. I made some brilliant profits last week on the trend rider, so it's okay. I'm still bullish on this market. Higher time frame, clear break of structure. 4 hour time frame, again, higher highs, higher lows. Just really come down and took the liquidity from this low. sell side liquidity. Took the liquidity from that. Why is that not marking it? Probably. There we go. Sell side liquidity here. I always find when you get a situation in the markets where you get a move, then you get like you get that consolidation, almost like that bullish flag, and then you get that move higher. I've noticed that what the market likes to do is it likes to come down and grab the liquidity of that consolidation period and then continue its move higher. Because imagine there's a lot of stop losses sitting below there. So that's really the exact pattern that we're seeing on the NASDAQ right now. Can you see that? It literally looks exactly what I've just marked up. Therefore, when we go down onto the lower time frames, such as the 5 minute or 1 minute, when we look at what's happened, we had multiple areas of support. And now we're trading higher. We have lots of equal highs here. So what I think we should wait for is we should wait for the NASDAQ price on the 4 hour to clear all of these highs, then look for the pullback, then look for the move higher. I think we could get that today. I think that could be a really nice potential scalping opportunity on the NASDAQ. So I'm looking at that one. If you want to be really, really risky, you could maybe use this area at literally at 20,200. Again, where you're going to put your stop loss, probably below that. And what would sort of be your target? Of course, the top here, which is not even a 1-to-1. So you'd have to really target why not? Huge target. 10-to-1. Again, minimal risk on that. In fact, I think it might have even just been tagged in now. Minimal risk on that. Very, very minimal risk. But 10-to-1 risk reward can't be sniffed at. But yeah, I'd prefer to probably wait for the 5 minute break above these highs first, because this looks quite low volume. Wait for that 5 minute break first, and then go from there. Yeah. Okay. Similar sort of thing with the S&P 500, really. If you look at the daily, trading at all-time highs. Yeah, you could argue that we could probably have some more downside here. In fact, this is shaping up to my normal analysis. Oh, I need to do this now. I'm going to do this with you guys. This is my normal analysis. This is my normal way I trade the markets. There's our Fibonacci daily move. Here's our key levels. I just dropped that down onto the 4 hour just to see if there's anything in terms of order blocks. There's one there at the 50% on the hourly. Come on, why is it not loading? Yeah, I like that. That looks good. I think I'd probably play that on that 50% there. There's again a 4-to-1 trade. That looks nice. I'm going to set that limit. I'll do that after the stream, but I'm going to set that limit there. I'm going to buy that market at 5784. That looks good. That looks good indeed. I imagine I have already got a limit set on the Dow Jones. shouldn't really over leverage on the same thing, but a very similar play. Looks a little bit like that. Okay, that's good. Okay, so that's cool. So we've got two potential opportunities coming up in the stock market, as in my normal opportunities. We've got one scalping opportunity on the S&P 500 on gold. We've got the NASDAQ, which we could look for. Not actually, obviously didn't place that, but we could look for the NASDAQ scalp as well. But we probably need to wait for a break of this high first. Break of that high. Wait for a retracement into an order block, and then potentially play that one higher as well today. And obviously we then got gold, which hopefully we can get a tag on gold as well. That'd be nice. Which looks a little bit like this. But again, keeping risk minimal here on days like today, where there isn't too much going on, especially in the US session later. And there we have it. Lots of opportunities there. I will post the S&P 500 analysis. No, sorry, I'll post this gold analysis in the room as a trade idea for today. And obviously, if you have watched the stream, you've got a couple of bonus trade ideas there as well. And I think that just about wraps it up for today. And yeah, good stuff. Dollar yen. Dollar yen. If you actually look what happened on dollar yen, got all the way up to 150 and then retraced. I'm leaving dollar yen alone at the moment, to be honest, because now we're up at 140. We've sort of had the extension that I thought we would after that break of structure here. After we broke 147, I thought we was going to hit 150. I'm just going to see how it reacts to 150. What we could get on dollar yen is a little bit of a retracement, down back into the 147 or 146 and create a new higher low again. And then we can play that next leg higher, but I'm going to leave it for now. $144.829 looks like a good area. That's sort of in no man's land. Yeah, I would probably look for this. This one or those two areas is what I'd look for on dollar yen. I'm probably going to place actually a limit on both of those because that fits my analysis. So thank you very much. So yeah, dollar yen, that's my outlook for that as well. Basically, I'm looking for this. It'll be a 1% on that and probably a 2% on that. Okay. Good stuff, everybody. Thank you very much to those who tuned in this morning. Good to hear from you all, and good luck today in your trading. If there is anything anyone wants to ask me, I will be active in the room throughout the rest of today as well. And